Can I just ask anybody if they've got a plug that fits an iPad? Mine's just died, so putting these up on Facebook is now hard.
Yeah, you could take that, charge it with that, but I'll have it back because my phone's not charged. Right, okay, so now we'll call forward, it should fit, does it?
Sorry, just...
Anyway, Adrian Sisson.
No, it doesn't.
Good morning.
No.
I'm sorry I only made up my mind late this morning to come in, and you wouldn't want a copy of my notes because I can hardly read them. This is not the first time I've spoken at council regarding what I believe are unsustainable rate increases. Vicky Buck was mayor the first time I spoke. I came along for my mother, frankly. She lived in a very modest flat up Celery's Avenue, and her rates at that stage were about 15% of her income. And nothing's changed. It's not just the Christchurch City Council, it's all councils around New Zealand. Every year rate increases way beyond the inflation rate are put in. And I've just grabbed a few friends' houses off the website just to have a look at what the increases are going to mean for them over the next few years. I've got some friends in Macora Street. They're presently paying just over $5,000. By 18 they'll be paying $8,400, a 50% increase. Thames Street, which was a house my son owned, 80 square metre house in Mariha. Now, it was revalued, so the percentage rate there, they were paying 2.7, it's going to go to 4.4, a 61% increase. My sister's in a very modest house in Newland Street, and she's on a fixed income over in Newland Street in Hoonhay, presently paying $15.45, so her rates are not high. But they're going to go to 2.255. This is by 2018, 46% increase. Another friend, again in a very modest house, but their house was revalued, presently paying $17.86, going to go to 3.2. Their rate increase by 18 will be 79%. In my own property, I'm lucky. I'm quite wealthy, live in a very flash house. My rates at the moment are around 14 grand. By 2018, my rates will be 19 grand. It's going to go up $5,000. Now, I'm more than aware of the effect that rates are having on people all around New Zealand. I run a small finance company. We have mortgages on people's places, and you guys may or may not know that if borrowers don't pay their rates, we have to pay their rates. You can make demand on us, and if we don't pay, we get a judgment against us. So there will be very few days of the week, and I don't have a big loan book, where I don't have a council somewhere in New Zealand make demand on me. The Bank of New Zealand in Auckland have 4 full-time people handling rate demands made by councils around New Zealand on their borrowers. That's the situation. And this, I mean, you've got Len Brown up in Auckland whacking 10% increases on rates. It's unsustainable. I would imagine over the last few days that there's been any number of groups, individuals, a myriad of people coming here saying, we want the council to do this. Please, Mr. Council, do this. Everyone's got, all you guys have got special interests. You'd love to see the council spend money. Vicky, you're well known. Before you, it was Gary Moore. Social housing, over there, Councillor Livingston. Dennis O'Rourke, he wanted this big bus thing, $100 million. Everyone's got their special thing they'd love to see done. I think councils are no different from a family. Mum, dad and 2 kids. And most of us had children. Kids want. And the money only goes so far. And I think councils are no different. You've got a budget. Council seems complete, and not just Christchurch City Council, governments anywhere in the Western world are completely, just cannot budget. We live in a world where, it's a Western style world where we tax and spend. It's unsustainable. I mean, basically the whole Western world is debt funded. And we all know the music's running out. Greece is bust, Italy is bust, France is bust. There are councils in New Zealand today that are insolvent. They're not being run by councillors, they're being run by statutory managers. And long term, and it won't happen in Christchurch over the next decade, it might take 2 or 3 decades, but at some stage this council, if it carries on the way as at the moment, it will be insolvent. And there's a chap over there to my right, he knows this. The ability of ratepayers to pay rates has plateaued. Look what happened with Margaret Thatcher when she brought in the poll tax. You know, she got beaten up very badly. And at some stage, if you guys don't think there's going to be a rates revolt in this city, you're dreaming. There will be a rates revolt in 2 ways. One, people just won't pay. And People aren't paying in New Zealand now. They're not paying their rates now. Or there will be an actual rates revolt where people just say, stuff it, I'll give you my rates and 1%. I'm not paying 9%. You can't keep... People, you look at what people are earning. People are not earning an extra 9% each year. And you've got a damaged city. This city is as beaten up as cities were after the Second World War in Europe. It took... I mean, they're still doing repairs in some cities over there now. We can't fix this city up in a decade or 2 decades or 3 decades. It's going to take a long time, and that's the message you've got to give to all these people who want.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That was pretty loud and clear.
Thank you.
Thank you.